we're going to stretch this out quite a lot. Okay, so it's like it's really shooting up a fair bit, yeah. So, and then it's going to be propelled quite quickly up, and this is where we've got to think about gravity. Boom, and we're going to have this come up like. How long does it take to clear the one elephant? Just over, again, it's just over a second, so maybe about 30. So 170 to get right over. But midway, you're maybe looking at 170 is just over a second, which is 24 frames. If you imagine you add 30 onto this, that's just over a second. One elephant. I'm trying to think. One elephant to maybe one elephant to get to the top. One elephant's a second, so maybe about 150, 160. We'll give it a try. So I'm going to take this now. I'm going to go to this is the last frame that this is on the ground for. So I got to make sure that there's a key here. Otherwise it's going to start interpolating. It will start making the change. It will start raising this up off the ground from way back here. So you've got to make sure that just the frame before it leaves the ground that we key this control so that it's on the ground before it jumps. And then we're going to go up to say 160, and I'm going to pull this up. I might do it in this view. This might be quite an easy one to do. I'll pull this up and get it there like so. Let's see what this looks like. So we got that. Now initially, of course, what's wrong with this? It's hard to judge this. Is the curve is wrong because it's slowing. It's going to be very fast. It's here. If I look at the Y translation, of course, you have the wrong thing happening. You've got it slowing into the jump. I'll just zoom in a bit there, and we want this to be, shooting up very quickly. So I'd break the tangents here, and then I'm going to turn this way, and of course it's going to slow down at the top of the jump. And we'll do the same thing for the Z translation. It's also going to be fastest in the Z. Oops. Remember to break the curves. Oops. Break the curves like this, and then speed into there. So then you go boo, ooh, and right. Is that too high? Let's see. So you can have a look at it. See. And maybe it could be a bit faster. It feels a little bit slow to me, so it's quite easy to fix that. Let's have a look at this. Well, maybe it's a bit slow. Let's see. Let's see, it goes along. Yeah, it could be faster. Certainly the up could be faster. So I'm going to take these two curves, and the easiest way to make this happen a bit quicker is just to take down the time period. So I'm going to drop this down. Drop it down to 155, and I might make the initial bounce a bit faster this way and a bit faster this way, just by cracking this out. So let's have a look at this now. That feels a bit better. Jump, 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 that, and then bang. Okay, and I've only got it going one way, so of course it's going to fall the other way. So when it's up in the air, it's going to drop down. So we've got it from like 141 to 155, so about 170. We can have this coming over. Now, in our view, we don't see what happens behind this, so it doesn't really matter. We just have to have a nice curve as it goes over. So I'm going to press S on this to make a key, and I'm going to drop the ball down now on this side, and I'll drop it down. Now this, in the case of this axis here, it's really going to be heading forwards as opposed to. So let's see, I can get rid of this there to there. Maybe make that like that. It's going forwards here, yeah, slowing down slightly. Yeah, so this one's going this way, and this one is going this way. So we have these two keys. The Z is heading forwards. You're it is going forwards, but the Y is going up and down. I think that might have to be one frame more in this direction. There we go. So you got something like this, and if we look at it in the camera view, go to panels, camera, we'll just take the NURBS curves off. We can see if this is kind of working. Just, you know, you get, so we got the ball bouncing, we got that, and then yeah, you got a, I wonder if this is too slow. Let's see that, and then up and boom. I still feel like it should have a little bit more force as it comes up. So again, I can go back and I can just, I'm just going to take these two lines and, you know, selecting those 2 points, yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this back a little bit. So remember, you press in the shift, middle mouse click and drag. I'm going to drag it back, and I'll drag these 2 points back just so this curve is symmetrical. And I'm going to try this. It feels like it needs a bit more force when it goes over. That looks a bit better to me. So you got the ball bouncing, stop, and yeah. Okay. Well, we'll run with this just now. I think you get the idea. Okay. Okay. So we've got the ball. Now, of course, there's some strange things happening with the ball. The first thing is I haven't got rid of the deformations. So we've got the ball jumping over the top, but the deformations are still there. I've just left them on. So what I would do next is I go to this control here. You see I've got the deformations on a full stretch. So I kind of want the ball stretching when it comes out, maybe for a couple of frames, and maybe I'll even have it on for 3 frames because it's really using a lot of effort. But then I want them to come off. So basically, by the 3rd or 4th frame, I'll make it the 4th, I'm going to take these off. So I'm going to go the easiest way to do that, or different ways. One way is I could press a key here. I could select that and press a key, and then I could just drag this down, and it will get rid of the deformations. So it becomes a normal shaped ball. Or an even easier way is just here it says translate Y. This is the amount I've pulled up this control. I can just highlight these numbers and just press 0, and that will give me the same thing. And then, you know, you have more of this when the ball comes. It will yeah, you get a sense of it springing up and over the top of the wall, and there we go. And that way it looks a little bit more convincing. You get a sense of. So the next thing you want to do is you want to show your NURB surfaces again, which is the tail which we've left. So the tail, right, so the tail. What happens with the tail? Well, first of all, you've got the little creature coming to a stop. And the tail's not going to stick up like this, so I'm going to move in. In order to do the tail, we'll kind of free animate the tail at this bit here, as opposed to trying, you know, doing the overlapping curves thing. I'm trying to show you different ways of getting the same result. So when the thing comes down here like this is the last frame. When you have animation on this, what will happen is, and I would probably do this like say 2 frames at a time. Don't ever try and animate. Well, try not to animate on every frame. You know, give yourself a couple of frames, so that Maya at least can interpolate between the frames, you know, but it can. So it's frame 98, I'll go 2 frames to say 100, and I'm just going to have this tail here come down slightly in this direction, like this. I'll have this turn down a little bit here. I'm going to have this one still up a little bit, you know, like it's behind. And I'll have this one like this. Okay, and I've got auto key set on, so this is just keying the stuff, and I'll go 2 frames along to 102, and I'll drop it down a bit more, and this one is gonna be maybe a little bit that way, and this one's still kind of up, turning, and then this is a little bit there. and then I go to 104, and we're further down now. This is actually almost down. This has started to come down the opposite way. I'm careful not to make it go through the ground. This is still kind of up, and this is still this way. And then I go to 106, and now maybe this is coming up again a little bit, and then this is now dropping down further, and this is coming over a wee bit. This is still kind of going up. So you know, you get that kind of rest thing going on. So that. And then finally 10, what was that? We're on 106, so 108. You know, you're gonna have this maybe a little bit further forward, this further down, and this coming back like this. Yeah. So yeah, you get this kind of, yeah. So when the thing comes to a stop like that. Yeah. Bounce, 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 bounce. Yeah. Okay. Now, so that's the first bit. Always remember to save. So file, save, scene as. I'm at 104. I'll make it version 5. So version 5. Okay. So we've got him stopping. And now we're going to do something interesting. When he winds up to jump, we'll have him twisting from side to side. So during the bit where he drops down, we'll have a bit of a twist in the body. So in order to do that, I'm going to go from the panel view here, from the perspective, orthographic will go to the top. So I'm just going to move to this, and I'm going to, where it says show, I'm going to take rid of the get rid of the grid. It's a bit confusing. Okay, and I'm also, what I'm also going to do is I've got my display layers. I'm just going to put this ground in a layer, and I'm going to make it a template. And what that does is it makes it grey. It makes it transparent. If I show you here, it makes it transparent. So it just means that when I look in this view, I can see stuff better. I can see the wall, for example. I can't really see the wall when I've got this. You know, from the above, it just looks like